to work on it for so long, I'm just wondering, because, all these other actors got to go to the volume and do their thing. Did you have volume envy? Was there a moment where you're like, can I put on
I've
one of
had
those?
volume envy all my life, Stevie. Sorry.
I know, I'm like,
Yeah, all right.
we went there.
Sort of a Chelsea Lately question.
It was, wasn't it?
I volume. I did work in the volume for a month. I mean, or thereabouts, because the final confrontation between Jake and I is I did a lot of volume, a lot of performance capture there with the amp suit. So yeah, so I can't say I envied it, but last night looking at that sense of community, that sense of spirit, the beauty of the Na'vi, I got deeply into that last night, which I was allowed to do because because the role has been played and I don't need to be Quaritch anymore. And it made me realize just how isolated Quaritch is. And so it was illuminating to me because, people will ask, what is interesting about this guy? And I hadn't really thought of the isolation and the loneliness as part of it. But, he is really so, even his own kind give him a wide berth, it seems to me.
I've never, I don't want to say it, but I've never wanted a human to go. Like I was totally like, I want these humans to die because they've totally ruined, so to be able to play it so black and white almost, was it difficult for you as an actor? Because there has to be, how do you justify what your character would do, the things that he did in this film?
Well, I don't think he needs to justify anything. I think he's a product of his own history, and which I think is a very scarred and a very dirty history, and I think it's a history that has damaged him. And I think he's damaged beyond, well, for the purposes of this particular story, damaged beyond redemption. I mean, he's really entered some kind of a place of real, it's an existential state. It seems to me the only thing that he believes in is himself. And that's not even a question of belief, that's just a question of function, it seems to me.
Working with a director like Jim, what does he, the intensity that I'm assuming that he kind of brings to shooting and stuff, what kind of experiences did you have with him while shooting this film then?
First of all, the intensity that Jim brings contributes very much to the condition that is optimum for playing Colonel Quaritch. Also, the affection and respect that Jim has for the profession, for the military way of life, is something that also contributed, I think. But beyond the specifics of the role, he's so collaborative and he's so energized and he's so focused that you just wouldn't think of appearing on a set with anything less that same intensity and focus and energy, it seems to me, and add to that a great sense of joy in what's being done.
I think a lot of people are going to be surprised that this is actually a vehicle for good acting as opposed to an animated film. Or it's not, so was it exciting to be an actor part of a team of people who are so good at their craft and, to be...
Well, if you look back at Jim's movies, I mean, all of them are actor pieces as well as being technological wonders, it seems to me. But my goodness, his last feature, Titanic, how many marvelous performances does that story feature? And I think the same is definitely true in Avatar. He's an actor's director, which is to say, because we know that he is when it comes to the technology, the technical wizardry, we know that that's his bag. But he's always been an actor's director, and this is all just to say that he's a director's director. I mean, he has a complete understanding and control and confidence in his craft. But what makes him really even more special is the fact that he's continually learning. You know what I mean? He's not resting on anything. He's not assuming anything. He doesn't see success as being sort of a vindication of some one way of working. He's just always pursuing.